The Conservative Party have taken their fair share of donations from certain businesses. What if I told you they took money from airports as well? Would that surprise you? Probably not. I'm going to read into this more from Open Democracy, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from Open Democracy with the headline that the Tories have taken 2,900. I'm getting my numbers right. Basically, well over £250,000 in gifts from airports as Sunak eyes a runway U-turn. Donations raise eyebrows with Rishi Sunak expected to reject the Climate Change Committee advice on banning expansions. So one way of ensuring that the airports get that third expansion at Heathrow Airport, for example, is to lavish the Prime Minister and his Conservative Party with lots and lots of gifts and saying, here, have some of these freebies or things. Almost sounds familiar. It's almost like a certain opposition leader has been given lots of lavish gifts he's been taken lately. I just can't remember who his name is. A Sir something. Yeah, but this is the Conservative Party, a government that's kind of running down on the muck, really. But is it really quite surprising? We shouldn't really be surprised, to be fair. But let's read more into this, guys. So airport operators have lavished Britain's last three prime ministers. Last three, guys. That shows why I know. See, I'm not paying attention. With VIP services of more than £200,000 since the 2019 election, analysis by Open Democracy is found. Liz Truss, Boris Johnson and Theresa May are among the Conservative MPs who have accepted more than £275,000 in donations in kind from airport operators, while Conservative Party HQ has taken more than £13,500 in donations from airport operators. The pushback that they've had quite a lot of pushback on the third expansion, but they never really got it through, did they? There was just so much opposition to a third runway at Heathrow Airport, and then when they looked at other options for a second runway, I think they didn't look at Luton. I think they looked at Stansted or Gatwick as potential expansions, but every time they tried to do expansions, they faced fierce criticism everywhere they go, because obviously not just from an environmental point of view, but the residents, and then they're constantly making this argument that we need to expand. That is what they mean for businesses and tourism and all that kind of stuff. But I think we don't need it, if I'm honest. I really don't think we need to expand. If anything, I think we just need to. I think we're fine where we are with the airports. I mean, we're already polluting enough as it is, to be fair. So, I mean, I understand the need for transport expansion, but I don't think a third runway at Heathrow is an option. I think we should just stick with what we've got. And besides, it's one of the least of our priorities going on right now, to be fair, guys. And it comes as the government signals its backing for airport expansion, in contrast with advice from its own climate advisors that adding runways to Heathrow and Gatwick would be incompatible with the UK's net zero goals. The Department of Transport told Open Democracy it was supportive of airport expansion where it can be delivered in a sustainable way. There is no sustainable way of achieving net zero by expanding, by having a second runway or expansion at Heathrow Airport. There is not a net zero, a way of achieving net zero in this. There's no logic around this, guys. Let's be serious. There's no logic behind this. Peter Barclay, the chair of Gatwick Area Conservation Campaign, said gifts to the Conservative Party were all part of an industrial effort to oil the government's machine in their favour. Of course it was, allegedly. Makes you very suspicious of politicians, he said. Sarah Clacton, coordinator of the climate campaign group Airport Watch, said Rishi Sunak has no interest in the environment. His only interest is keeping the Conservative Party going. Well, that's pretty much true, because the guy won't even take a train yet to go to one place to another. He likes to take the helicopter and look at us from above, thinking he's all that, doesn't he? You know, this is a guy that can't even use a credit card at a gas station, or doesn't know how to, you know, fill a car up full of petrol. You know, yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. The airport will use every little trick in the book in order to make sure that this law isn't changed so they can get their expansion plans through. Truss, Johnson and May have accepted tens of thousands of pounds in the donations in kind from Heathrow Airport Limited and Gatwick Airport Limited in the last 4 years. Both airports are opening to open additional runways. Yeah, so I was right about Gatwick. Theresa May alone accepted donations in kind worth more than 183,000 for the use of the VIP Windsor suite at Heathrow Airport, a staggering 44 times, in according to a declaration made on the register of members' financial interest. Heathrow advertises the private suite as a unique and luxurious service, including a chauffeur and a dinner prepared by a Michelin star chef served by your own personal butler. Wow. Jesus, that's a lot. Boris Johnson also used the suit at least 34 times, accepting said worth 58,000 from the airport. 4 of them while still in office. In addition, he made the use of a VIP suit at Gatwick Airport for him and his family on 3 occasions after leaving office, a donation in kind worth more than £4,000. His short-lived successor, Liz Truss, also made use of the VIP suite at Heathrow and Gatwick, accepting 14 stays worth more than £24,000 after resigning as Prime Minister. Theresa May accepting donations in kind worth more than 183,000 for the use of the VIP Windsor suite at Heathrow Airport, a staggering 44 times. Ah, Jesus. That money equals influence. And they're trying to influence politics in their favour. Excuse me. Trying to influence politics in their favour. Is what the airports are trying to do. Not interested in climate. They're only interested in money at the end of the day, guys. Tory Party HQ also accepted a 12,500 cash donation from London City Airport Limited to stays after it won the 2019 election, according to the Electoral Commission records, while Heathrow Airport Limited made a non-cash donation worth the equivalent of 1.6 million to the party in October 2022. It did not respond to questions about what the donation actually was. Yeah, I wonder what the donation was. What could it possibly have been for? A further 6 Conservative MPs have accepted gifts worth almost 7,000 in total from London City Airport since 2019. Albion MP Gareth Bacon declared in the Register of Members' Financial Interest that he received tickets to sporting fixtures worth 1,849 from the airport last year, which is the closest to his constituency. Tory MPs Nigel Evans, Robert Neal, Paul Scully, Kevin Hollerack and Gavin Montorigo has also declared that they have accepted tickets to sporting events from the airport. London City had an application to increase the size of its terminal refused by Newark Council in July, but has appealed the decision. Operators of British airports, including Heathrow Gatwick, as well as the Airport Operators Association, the AOA, also sponsors of the Future of the Aviation All-Party Parliamentary Group of MPs by donating £10,000 a year to pay for its secretariat. Not sure what that word is. Karen Deere, Chief Executive of the AOA, recently wrote that she had been working with MPs on the Future of Aviation All-Party Parliamentary Group to lobby the Prime Minister and Chancellor to allow airports to establish arrival-free duty-free stores and to restore VAT-free shopping for international tourists. Last month, a report by the Climate Change Committee, the CCC, warned that there should be no airport expansion if the government is to meet its target of net zero emissions by 2050. The committee was established as part of the 2008 Climate Change Act to hold the government to account over its progress towards reaching net zero. The campaign group Aviation Environment and Federation claims that the UK's current airport expansion plans will result in the number of aviation passengers growing 3 times higher than the limits advised by the CCC. Paul McGuinness, chair of the No. 3rd Runway Coalition with campaigns against Heathrow's expansion plans, said he believes that the gifts airports are handed to MPs are just the thin edge of the wedge. He added Heathrow's chief of staff was lifted from the Department of Transport, that department's director of communications was lifted from Heathrow's PR office. Heathrow's current chair was until recently a Treasury Minister working alongside the Transport Department. They're all friends, they're all buddy. If you give them enough money, all of a sudden they just become your friends, don't they? They all get along really well together, don't they? They are a private company with 90% foreign shareholders who interact with the UK government like a revolving door on projects that seek to primarily benefit from overseas shareholders and add very little to UK PLC. The Conservative Party was approached for comment. I wonder if they gave an answer. I'm going to assume they didn't. A Heathrow spokesperson said, with regards to access to the Windsor suite, we always take a view on how to maintain a safe and efficient operation at the airport. At our discretion, we have the option of providing access to the Windsor suite where we consider it the best use of the airport security resources, as the register reflects the proper report procedures have been followed. No response from Gatwick there or the Conservative Party there. Yeah, what a surprise. To be fair, guys, we shouldn't be surprised by this at all. But yeah, this has been, apparently they've been throwing money at the last 3 prime ministers for quite a while, guys, with a desperation attempt to get those expansions through, both Gatwick and Heathrow. As I said, we don't need them, okay? Now, like we have much bigger issues going on in the country right now, much more important ones, and this is the last thing that people are really concerned about. Yeah, it's a third expansion. Plus the people around that live around Heathrow, there's no what about them? What about the people who live around Gatwick? Where's their consideration into this matter as well? Like, it's just a case of business and profit and making money. That's all it is, guys. There might be the argument that it will increase GDP and growth and all that kind of stuff for tourism, and there is a fair argument for that, but it goes against our commitments to net zero as well, which we want to try and achieve, which I don't really have much hope of that right now, but got to keep the hope, shall we say. But what do you guys think about this? Does this really surprise you, taking such donations? I mean, the 3 prime ministers getting all these lavish suit wear to use, and all these Conservative MPs being given lots of sporting tickets and that to lobbying on behalf of the airports. Does this really surprise you? It's just more donations, more corruption, more influence that private companies and all that are buying, isn't it? And it's not really a surprise, but it needs to stop. I'm sure you guys will agree with me. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, share and subscribe as always. Also check out some of my other links in there if you can as well. Be greatly appreciated. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.